is ready. Gonna be waiting for some more people to join here. Alrighty everyone, I am here. Give me 1 second. Let me just mute this. Alrighty everyone, so for those of you guys who are new, my name is Kyle, or FBI, and I am one of the owners of Highborn Trading. And what this is Sunday Stock Talk. So for those of you guys who are new, what this is basically I review what I think is going to happen for the week while looking at the future, such as ES and NQ. Since futures open up at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, I like to look at them on Sundays, an hour or so after they open, just to kind of see what the market sentiment is like and what's going to happen. Or basically what I think is going to happen, I should say. And so right now we opened up, this is ES, we're looking at ES, so for anyone who doesn't know what ES is the future for SPY, or it would be the SPX for people, it's SPY, SPX, whatever you like to call it. But ES is the future form of those. So, when we look at ES, we're basically looking at SPY, just in its future form. And basically what we can see here is, this is where we closed, this is where we finished on Friday. And then now, here was where we opened up on Sunday, today. We opened up at 3 p.m. here. So we gapped down pretty hard, and then we tried making our way upwards, we couldn't, and then we made our way right back downwards, and now we are retesting in a very, very important trend line. This trend line goes back to all the way up here. If we look at this. Oh yeah, for anyone who followed my stuff from last week, I talked about all of this stuff fully. I talked about everything that was going to happen last week fully, and we basically played out almost exactly how I thought we would. We just got that slight pop upwards here, but we hit those levels that I talked about us hitting before coming right back down. So, that played out really nicely. This zone was very key zone for the week. And I mean, yeah, it was great to play it that way. So, now that we broke down out of this zone, we are now retesting this important trend line here. It forms literally all throughout the year. And we bounced off of it multiple times in the past. But, can we continue to bounce off of it? That's the question we all have. However, with how low we are sitting right now, with how low this is right here, we would need to see a bounce with volume occur. A bounce with volume actually needs to happen here, now, what we're getting. This is a great spot for us to look at. Let's see if we can bounce here. If not, if we break below this trend line, guys, this can go back down to see. Yeah, this can go back down to see levels of 4030. All the way back down to 4,000. And this breaks 4,000, that's so deadly. That is so deadly. That is so crucial. This bottom zone here is the most important zone to look for. But yeah, we have to be very careful with this trend line here. Honestly, if we break this trend line here, we would possibly see that 4030 level. However, we should look to see if we can get any bounces occur at around 4064.25, 4064.50 to 4056.25, 4056 flat. That little zone right there, guys, is where I would be looking for us to try to get some sort of relief bounce occur, if we do get one. But if we can't get one here at this level, then this is just going to keep on coming down and down and down, guys. This is not going to look good at all. This is going to be ugly. Yeah, now looking at the TPO chart here, if we manage to continue to break down below it, the next important area of volume doesn't occur until all the way back here. Look at this. Until all the way back here. So that's why I have this green level as a crucial level here. But yeah. What's up, Tokyo? But yeah, so we have to be careful with that, because if we don't catch any, We could look for a bounce here occur at 4070, but if we don't get a bounce here at 4070, then we got to look for this zone here that we had occur at 4061 all the way down to 4054, and then below that we see 4031, 4030. So these levels are pretty close to each other, but they're also very important. Anything here, anything below these levels here, that's very important. That gets very deadly, guys. I really, like, this is setting up to be an awful, awful, awful time. I mean, it already has been with interest rates, interest rates, inflation, everything that's happening, the world. Like, this is getting really important to pay attention to. Because once this is all finished, like that's the sign for like wealth to take place. That's where like generational wealth takes into, and you have to be like just very prepared for it. So as we look through this, we begin to look for other setups that we can be prepared for that'll help us gain a ton of money when this is over. So we have to be very patient and see what goes on here. But as soon as this is done, guys, and we get back into our bull market form, oh man, that's the time to just buy everything. I mean, if you think about it, like history has always repeated itself over and over and over again. So I was looking at it as well. Where is it? The time frame. I did the past max available time with our candlesticks representing a year. And this is what I found out. After every 3 years, roughly, we tend to have a red year. Look at this. 3 years go by, red year. 2 years went by, red year. Almost finished green there. But then we had 3 years go by, red year. Almost finished green. 2 years go by, red year. And then we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had this time period of 5 years where we didn't have a red period. And then we had a period of 3 years where we did. So, that alone right there tells me that there's a cycle goes on in history every single time, guys. Like, this right here obviously shows it right there, too. It's like, this is just human nature that occurs. Nothing can always go up forever. So that always has to find some sort of like, it has to cool down at some point. And that's kind of what happens every 3 to 4 to 5 years sometimes. So now that we're in year 4, this is year 4 that we're at right now after 3 years of going up, we're finally getting this 4th year of us coming down. Now this could drag on for another 2 years or so, just like it did here, where this dragged on for 3 years, from 2000 all the way to 2002. Yeah, we got all of 2000 there, we had 2001, and then 2002. 3 years worth of dropping. We could see that easily happen again here, guys. We could easily see that happen again. We could get 3 years worth of drop occur. I mean, if that's the case, I would be predicting to see 3290 on ES. If that's the case on what happens. But it's human nature for stuff like this to happen, guys. And you just have to look for that, and you have to be prepared for it. You can't be scared about it. You just have to be ready for when human nature is going to start to go into its next cycle again and go into these uptrends. But yeah, that's basically my analysis that I have for ES. But for the upside, if we can manage to break above, I'd say 4130. Like, I'm not going to be looking for any micro levels here. Like, I mean, I could. We'll say 4101. We can look for 4101 break all the way upwards to 4114, 4115. But the main level that I want to look for is this 4130 level, this 4130 to 4150 zone still. I'm still paying attention for this. I want to see us get back up into here if we're going to have any sort of sign of us pushing back upwards. But if we can't even manage to get back up into here, or we reject somewhere in here, this is going to just keep on coming downwards. Again, this trend line here is very, very important. So we have to wait a couple more minutes just to kind of see what happens with it, maybe to a couple hours. Who knows? But yeah, that's my ES analysis. So if you guys have any questions or any ticker symbols you want me to look at, just type them down below and I can get to those. Any ticker symbols to look at? Jorge, you have Tesla 940 calls expiring Friday. Why would you... Didn't you ask me yesterday about... Or not yesterday, last week about Tesla, and I told you like how bad it looked? Like, why would you take calls on Tesla after asking the previous week about it? and then hearing what I had to say about it, and then just doing complete opposite of it. Um, yeah, you've asked me about Tesla, you asked me about SPY, and you asked me about one more. One. I think you asked me about Nvidia as well last week. But yeah, man. I mean, Tesla is just like looking awful. Let me see if it'll load. Maybe my trading view will load it. Let's see. I mean, it has to hold 850 here. That's what you'd be looking for on Tesla. If it can't hold 850, then this is coming right back downwards to roughly 794, 795, maybe even 794.83 exactly. But yeah, I see Tesla still continuing to come downwards. So unless it can get back above this 913 level, then it could potentially see 922 to 937 before seeing 956 again. But this definitely has room to continue to come downwards. Yeah, I don't see much for any strong signs for Tesla. I really don't. But yeah, type down your ticker symbols below, guys, if you have any more. Okay. Looks like no ticker symbols. I understand it's also Mother's Day. Thank you for everyone who did tune in, but I am going to end the stream. And on that note, I hope everyone has a great rest of your guys' Sunday. And yeah, let's get it tomorrow and let's kill it. Have a great day, everyone.